Batman was directed by Tim Burton and was released back in 1989 and is possibly one of the most successful superhero films ever made. It's obviously about the Dark Knight himself, Batman. So the plot to this movie is very simple. This woman comes to Gotham City to study the events, to study some certain events that have possibly been occurring by some weird giant bat figure, and comes across this man known as Bruce Wayne, who has ever since he met her has been keeping this dark secret about the other half of him, and doesn't reveal his true dark form until a dark and sneaky evil delivery from the Joker, who's played by Jack Nicholson, is going to crash upon Gotham City, and Batman himself has to take off in the night. I have mentioned this so many times, and I'm going to mention it again. I love action movies, I love superhero movies, and Batman is my favorite superhero. You guys don't need to know more. He's just my favorite superhero. It's just that, for me, when it comes to heroes like Batman, he's unlike any other. And it combines Marvel and DC as well. There are superheroes like Iron Man, like Captain America, Thor, Hulk, Spider-Man, and then you have heroes from the DC universe like Superman, Aquaman, Wonder Woman, The Flash. But to me, Batman was the one who stood on top of the building, and he is just possibly the most iconic superhero ever. Like, seriously, just look at this right here. Look at that. But done talking about my deep loves of Batman, let's talk about this film itself. This film is one of my all-time favorites. I love this movie. I really do love Batman. I think it has a lot of great stuff in it. It is very fun. This movie is extremely, surprisingly well directed. Jack Nicholson is phenomenal in this movie. I actually love Jack Nicholson as an actor. He's one of my all-time favorite actors. He's definitely up there in my top 10 favorite actors of all time. He's in The Shining, Chinatown, you name it. This guy doesn't even have to act. Jack Nicholson doesn't have to act in order to be a fantastic actor. This man knows what he's doing, and his Joker performance is absolutely on point. Michael Keaton as Bruce Wayne, absolutely fantastic in this movie, and his performance stays really on the right level. It stays at a perfectly straight line, and it never panders to its audience. His performance, he knows what he's doing. Michael Keaton is absolutely phenomenal as Batman in this movie. Although not the best incarnation of Batman, but it's one of the best in my opinion. It's not the best though, but it still stays at a very flat line, and it never just goes off track. It's just a great. The story of Batman is absolutely really well written in this movie. The direction by Tim Burton is sort of disturbing, and when you watch this movie, it doesn't really feel like a Tim Burton movie. I mean, there are dark elements in this movie, and I guess you can say adding the Joker in this movie is has somewhat of a Tim Burton atmosphere to it, but everything else doesn't really feel like a Tim Burton movie, and I absolutely love that. Tim Burton has his own style with movies, and the majority of them feel the same, but with movies like Batman, Tim Burton can do whatever the heck he wants in this movie, and that's amazing. I think the acting is really good in this movie too. There are a couple of characters where the acting goes a little off track sometimes, and those are usually characters that are just to be part of the script and not necessarily a big part of the movie, but it didn't bother me that much. But overall, the acting is really great in this movie from every actor, and everything in this movie is absolutely really beautiful. The way this movie looks, Gotham City, the costume designing, it is fantastic. Look, the makeup effects that they use for Joker, they are amazing. It really is. Like, I honestly don't know how they added that smile thing to his face or whatever, because I'm pretty sure he couldn't just stay in that position for the entire part of the movie. It was some sort of makeup effects, and it's really great. Absolutely fantastic. The action sequences are so unforgettable. They are so great to watch. They are all over the place. When Batman comes, you're just like, yes, 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 yes. That's exactly how I was in this movie. The first appearance of Batman automatically stopped my heart. It automatically I didn't care about how old this movie was. This movie's not even that old. I wouldn't even consider it that old because it came out in 1989. But the music and everything when Batman came, and just, oh my gosh, to me, those are very great, well-directed scenes. Those sequences when Batman just comes out of nowhere and just starts kicking butt, and oh my god, those are great sequences. And they almost never fail in Batman, in my opinion at least. And you can tell when you watch Batman, the 1989 version, you can tell that when you watch this movie, you can tell that it's very different compared to the comics and stuff. And the reason for that is that I mentioned already Tim Burton's fantastic direction, and he delivers his own style to this amazingly directed film. It is so great on how beautiful and well directed this film is. Almost everything in this movie is really perfectly well set up. The acting, the setting, Gotham City, the sets, and the really great tone and atmosphere, the characters, they are all really great in this movie. And everything absolutely fits in Batman. And one of the best things about this movie is the opening of the movie where it shows the Batman logo and the score starts playing. It is great. It honestly is. And even though I love this movie so much and I think it's so fantastic, sadly this is not a perfect movie. I do have one little nitpick with this movie, which doesn't actually affect my grade that I'm going to give to the movie, but I still have an issue with this movie, sadly. I think that some of the characters in this movie are just and in particular the characters that are part of Gotham City. I think they're sort of useless sometimes, and they're just there in the movie to be a part of the script and have more scenes in the movie. I think some of those characters are useless sometimes, but other than that, Batman is one of my all-time favorites. I love this movie. And that's literally my only issue I have with this movie. Like I said, this is not going to affect my grade at all, because I didn't even think it was a big flaw. I thought it was just a nitpick, just a small little nitpick. But anyway, this is a great movie. I absolutely love Batman, and it's one of my all-time favorites. It's a well-directed, well-directed film by Tim Burton, and I also love this film because he delivers his own style, and it's a little different compared to all of his other films. And this film is honestly the definition of Batman, the classic definition of Batman, if you look at it like that. Now, if you haven't seen this movie, don't worry, I'm not gonna bash you. But if you haven't at least heard of this film, what is wrong with you? Go check this film out. It is one of my all-time favorites. Even if you're not a fan of Batman, try getting into the movies because the majority of them are really good or great. I'm gonna give Batman an A+. Guys, thank you guys so much for watching my movie reviews. You guys are the best. I love every single one of you. You guys are amazing. Thank you guys so much for watching my movie reviews, by the way, and some of my other content that I'll be making that I make on my channel and stuff like that. But anyway, yes. I decided to do a little new series called Superhero Saturdays. I'm gonna be reviewing some superhero movies on most Saturdays, not every Saturdays, but most Saturdays. But anyway, thank you guys so much for watching this movie review. Love you guys. You guys are the best. I love every single one of you. I will never stop saying that because you guys are amazing. Anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. And as always, I am Mario Fan 520, and I will see you next time. Peace out.